Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. Christian Yetke here again, and I want to talk to you guys about the importance of praying and reading the Bible every single day. Not 5 days a week, not six, but seven. Ideally, seven would be great. And just being able to spend that time with God is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So I just wanted to go over a few things on why that has such significant importance in your everyday life and why it does for me at least. So, Soren Kierkegaard says the function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who prays. So when I heard about that and I was thinking on it, I was like, okay, I mean, like he's not changing, he's not anything new. I'm the new one. I'm the one who's trying to come to find him. I'm trying to figure out who I am. I'm trying to, get to understand what's really going on inside here. And so when I'm thinking about it, it's not God that's changing, it's me that needs to change. It's me that's needing to include God. And Jordan Peterson said something interesting on this before. He said that he's like prayer is just like God already knows everything that's going on, but prayer is just you intentionally saying, God, like here's what's going on, even though you already know it, but I'm intentionally allowing you to be a part of it. And I want you to be a part of it. So that's one of the things about prayer. And another one, which is probably even funnier, is like, okay, so how am I stupid and how can I not be that stupid anymore? And I mean I like that analogy on it because I mean it's pretty much true. How am I doing things wrong? How am I trying to do things the way I want to do them? You know, and it's not going to work out well because I'm not all knowing, but God, you are. So how can I do things the way you want me to? How can I do things the way you say to, the way your word says to? How can I do it in a better way and not just do whatever I want to do? Because apparently, yeah, because like I'm all knowing and I'm all smart and all kinds of stuff. I'm not. So I like that idea of, like, God, come on in. I want you to be a part of this. I want you to lead it, really. And also, I'm just this mortal human. You're all now the all-powerful Elohim. So please guide me. Please tell me what I need to do, and I'll do it. And so I like that thought process of, accepting and making it and accepting the humility of the fact that we are just this one little piece of fleshly being, and he is the ultimate being, and that it's us allowing him in because he's not forcing it on us, but he wants us to be there. So in James 4 7 to 8, it says, "Submit therefore to God, but resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come closer to God, and he will come close to you." So, the scripture, even these philosophers and all the types of historians and whatnot, we all have this same agreement, obviously, because it's true and it's kind of easy to agree on the truth. But this idea of needing to go closer to God, because when we are closer with Him and we allow Him in these situations, then he's able to be there. He's able to give the guidance, and and we're allowing that to happen because it's not that he's not able to do it, but when we allow him to be a part of it, then that just makes it much more fulfilling and much more intimate between each other. So a couple other ones is going to be, um, let's go, Psalm 34:4. I sought the Lord and he answered me and rescued me from all my fears. Psalm 107:28. Then they cried out to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out of their distresses. It's crying out, all throughout the Psalms whenever David was, being persecuted and attacked and hunted down for years. I think it was like many years. He called out to God all the time. He was always praying like, take care of me, keep me safe. Don't let the enemy overcome me. But he had to have that dialogue. He had to have that inner that or that intimate connection with God and say, hey, it's like I'm just human, but I like God, I need you here with me. I need you to I need you to do this. I need your help. And so is the prayer, just how powerful it is. I've got buku amounts of testimonies that I've heard, dozens, hundreds of different types of people's testimonies in so many different categories and ways on whenever they pray, and of healing that's taken place, of prayers that have been answered, of guidance that's been given. So So that prayer, that intimate time that you're spending with the Father is very critical. And to hear from him is going to be reading his word. So that's why it's so important to be in his word every single day. I mean, there's no, all right, what's the minimum I have to do to, check that box so I can get into heaven or, be pleasing to God or whatever the case is. Because remember, he knows our heart. So if you're reading the Bible or praying or doing anything in life and you don't have a good heart behind it, he knows that. So change your heart. Metanoia is the Greek word. It means changing the heart, like a complete 180. You change who you are and your heart and why you do what you do. Whole separate thing. So uh, Brandon Manning says the deepest desire of our hearts is for union with God. God created us for union with Himself. This is the original purpose of our lives. And again, these guys, they thought this stuff through pretty well. And you know, we all keep coming back to the same thing. We need God. Our absolute existence and essence of life is to have that relationship with God. And when we have that, then we have the clarity on how we can go about the rest of the world and do what we do and have those purposes and passions and have that fun in life and do those good things and enjoy life and be able to have that fulfillment though because we try to get fulfillment from the world but we'll never get it. We can only get it from God, and he's the one who can show us how to go about that. So that's why it's like such a specific need and for just your existence, your soul, to have that relationship with God. And then I'll finish off with this last one with Epictetus. He says progress is not achieved by luck or accident but by working on yourself daily. Daily, every single day, are you spending that time? And again, the big thing, I was just talking with a buddy yesterday, actually, and we were talking about about the amount of time that's spent with just being able to read or pray. And and it should be a daily thing. It does not have to be, 10 hours or an hour or 20 minutes even of, constant of just reading the Bible and just sitting there and praying random stuff. If it's like 1 minute of intentionality and actual commitment with the Father, then yeah, that's going to mean a whole lot more than an hour of you, paying no attention to him, but just saying all these like things like, oh, prayer this and verse that and, help them, whatever. But, you're not actually there in the moment. And that's a rough one, even for me. Like I'm mentally not there in the moment. So that's like something I'm still working on these days. But so trying to just disconnect from the world and life and work and all those things and just being able to harness in and focus in and be like, all right, God, here's this time with you. Let's just spend it. Like even a short amount of time is going to be much better. Quality over quantity. You know, 5 minutes of deep connection of a good conversation of, just reading that word, even if all you do is read one verse. Like I'm not even joking, just get one verse. Do your normal day, do your morning routine, whatever it is you do, and just add in the fact that you sit down, you wherever you do, prayer closet, bed, uh, kitchen counter, whatever it is, you sit down and you read the Bible. If all you do is specifically go, open the Bible, read that one verse, and close it. One verse. Not you don't have to do more. If you do, great. 90% of it is just showing up, right? If you want to go to the gym, you just got to show up and then you will eventually do something with a workout. But you got to get to the gym first. If you want to spend more time in the Word, just get yourself to sit down and open it up and just start with one verse. And if all you do is one verse, then great. But once you build that habit of the fact that you sit down and take that intentional time of sitting down and reading one verse and thinking on it, meditating on it for the day, maybe, then that will build. Then you'll read two verses, and five, and 10. Then maybe you're reading a chapter, and whatever it is that you look like, uh, however it is that you look like about going about your day, whether you're reading, a verse and you're meditating on that one verse, or you're trying to read a whole chapter, or whether you're reading 5 or 10 chapters a day and you're just trying to go through the book, whatever the case is. It's just some things like that that I've been noticing a lot is that people think that if they can't do the that they can't do the the absolute most that they can. If they're like, if I can't sit there for an hour and read like 5 chapters and meditate for 20 minutes and pray for 30 minutes and do all, if I can't do everything all at once, then I don't want to do any of it. And that's that's a bad mindset to have, to say the least, because you're saying that, even a little bit of time with God is useless if it's not a whole lot. If if we apply that in any other area of our life, we'd quickly be able to see how completely wrong it is. So, anyways, I just want to get the idea of spending that time and making it very intentional with your time. And again, intentionality and consistency does it's quality, okay? It is not quantity. 1 minute, 5 minutes in the morning, everyone can do that. You know you can do that, but you're also probably scrolling on your phone for 20 minutes while you're still laying in bed trying to wake up. You wake up by opening your eyes, throwing the covers off, and getting out of bed. You can you're not gonna fall asleep if you're standing up and you turn on some lights. You're not gonna fall back asleep as easily as if you are just laying in bed playing on your phone, staying comfortable and warm and all that good stuff. So get yourself up, get out of bed, take those steps. Intentionality, guys. It does not have to be anything crazy. It does not have to be anything hard. Build those foundational routines. Build that into being disciplined. And then you're like, if you sit down and you're like, as soon as I wake up, I wake up, I go over and I read the Bible and I read one verse, then great, do that. But don't let life get in the way of all that other stuff. So, anyways, that was my idea for today. It was just the intentionality of spending time in prayer and reading the word. And again, it does not have to be a whole lot. If you do, great. It's not going to be bad at all if the more time you spend, but don't allow it to become, and I'm speaking to myself here half the time, is because I do this a bit. I sit there and I try to like read or pray for a little bit, but I'm like, I just don't feel like I got anything, so I need to keep doing it more. But that's not the case. Remember, he knows your heart, and if your heart is in the right place and you're trying, that's what he wants. Everyone wants to see someone trying. Every person in the world wants to see intentionality of trying. Everyone's going to want that. Anyways, that's my thoughts for today. Hope that was able to be a blessing to you guys. Y'all have a very blessed day. I'll see y'all next time.